One of the things that's changed a lot over the last year, and in terms of AI tech trends, if you ask me what's the most important tech trend in AI, I would say is the rise of agentic AI. And about a year and a half ago, when I started to go around and give talks to try to convince people that AI agents might be a thing, I did not realize that around last summer, a bunch of marketers would get a hold of this term and use it as a sticker and slap it on everything in sight, which made it almost lose some of its meaning. But I want to share with you from a technical perspective why I think agentic AI is exciting and important and also opens up a lot more startup opportunities. So it turns out that the way a lot of us use LLMs is to prompt it to have it generate an output. And the way we have an LLM output something is as if you're going to a human, or in this case, an AI, and asking it to please type out an essay for you by writing from the first word to the last word all in one go without ever using backspace. And humans, we don't do our best writing, being forced to type in this linear order. And it turns out neither does AI. But despite the difficulty of being forced to write in this linear way, our LMs do surprisingly well. With agentic workflows, we can go to AI system and ask it to please first write an essay outline, then do some web research if it needs to, and fetch some web pages to put in their own context, then write a first draft, then read the first draft and critique it and revise it and so on. And so we end up with this iterative workflow where your model does some thinking and some research, does some revision, goes back to do more thinking. And by going around this loop many times, it is slower, but it delivers a much better work product. So for a lot of projects the AI Fund has worked on, everything from pulling out complex compliance documents to medical diagnosis to reasoning about complex legal documents, we found that these agentic workflows are really a huge difference between it working versus not working. But a lot of the work that needs to be done, a lot of the valuable businesses to be built still, will be taking workflows, existing or new workflows, and figuring out how to implement them into these types of agentic workflows. So just to update the picture for the AI stack, what has emerged over the last year is a new agentic orchestration layer that helps application builders orchestrate or coordinate a lot of calls to the technology layers underneath. And the good news is the orchestration layer has made it even easier to build applications. But I think the basic conclusion that the application layer has to be the most valuable layer of the stack still holds true. With a bias or focus on the application layer, let me now dive into some of the best practices I've learned for how startups can move faster.